Hi guys, my name is Noelle and I am a UI UX designer, and I'm so excited to finally be making this video for you all. So this channel, Elle's Design Diary, was created as a place for those who are new and looking to transition into the field of user experience design or UX design, and just equip you guys with the tips and tricks that I have gained over my career transition and my experience thus far in the industry, and really just helping you level up your interview skills, resumes, portfolios, whatever it may be, to help you land your first UX job. So if you're interested in this type of content, career advice in UX or design tutorials and more, please like, share, and comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, be sure to hit that notification bell so that way you're notified whenever I post new content. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So in this particular video, we're going to be talking about how to become a UX designer in 2023 with no experience, no previous design experience, come from a non-traditional background, and completely starting from scratch. I want to give you guys the core principles and steps to help you navigate landing your first UX job. So to start off, let me just explain what UX design is. So what we do as UX designers is that we aim to create functionally compelling digital experiences for our users. So for example, for a company, we may help to improve a specific process within an application, an app, or a website to help to clearly define a path for users to take that both delights our users and helps them to accomplish whatever the task is at hand. So our main function is to design that experience by going out, interviewing users, gathering any market data, and doing lots of quantitative and qualitative analysis of existing data and obtaining any new data as needed to help inform our design decisions and ensure that we're designing the best product possible and the best experiences possible for our users. So let's start off with a little bit about my background before we jump right into things. So I started off working in clinical healthcare. My original goal after undergrad was to become a physician's assistant and work in the field of dermatology. So I was working as a dermatology technician up until about a year and a half ago when I transitioned. So whilst working as a dermatology technician, I was also doing a lot of freelance work and promoting my services through a platform called Fiverr, which is a marketplace for entrepreneurs to promote their services. And I was doing a lot of things like flyer design, graphic design here and there. I would design a website using one of those website builders like Squarespace every now and then. And again, this was part-time work, so I had been doing that on and off for about 6 years through Fiverr while working as a dermatology technician. So I did have a little bit of design background, and I did have that, fire burning for and passion for creativity and design. So that did help me a little bit when looking for my first UX job. So my final days working, or final months, I should say, working as a dermatology technician, I started to really build my foundational knowledge of user experience design. So that's going to bring me into step one for how to transition into UX design. You want to first build that foundational knowledge of core UX design principles, visual design principles, and just really understanding the design process and kind of what your day-to-day would look like. This is important because it'll help you determine whether or not this is actually the field that you feel is right for you, and if it's actually something that you want to do. And it also helps you to really understand the core of what your day-to-day job would be like as a UX designer. So the course that I enrolled into was a course through Google. It's a very common course that a lot of aspiring UX designers are taking. It is through Coursera, and it's the UX Design Certificate through Google. And there is a way to apply for a scholarship. I know it's like a $30 subscription a month or something like that, but there is a scholarship that you can apply for through Coursera, and they will give you the course for free, completely for free. So that is step one. I will link it down below in the description box so you guys can access that and know where to find that. So the next step, step 2, and this is the step that the same kind of order that I did things in, is that I wanted to start getting my hands dirty with actual visual design and learning how to utilize the prototyping software that designers commonly use in their day-to-day. So Figma and Adobe XD are the top 2 prototyping softwares that are used. Also, there is Sketch, Envision, and many others, but I would say Figma is probably the number 1 right now. So that's the one that I would probably start learning first. And I feel like once you learn one of the software, it's pretty intuitive and you'd be able to easily pick up Sketch, Envision, Adobe XD, because they all kind of work very similarly. So once you're able to kind of gain a foundational knowledge and play around in Figma, get familiar with everything, maybe watch a few YouTube videos on how to build basic, UI components or elements of an interface, like maybe do like a website mock-up or things like that, then I feel like you should be ready to start moving on to maybe exploration of building things out. And then I would go to Behance.net and I would start to look at some of the trends within the industry, see what other designers are doing, and look at different ways that they're designing applications or websites. And then the best way to learn as a designer is to copy. And I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, don't do that, don't copy. But as long as you're giving credit, I think it's completely okay. Or even if you're just keeping it for your own practice, then I don't think it should be an issue. But I think just mimicking what you're seeing other designers do. So maybe Google like app design concept of food delivery service and kind of look at some of, scroll through, see if you find one you like, and then recreate it in Figma yourself. This really helps you to familiarize yourself with the software and get comfortable with the software. And then you can go on to learn new things like interaction design and how to create interactive prototypes and things like that once you get more familiar with the basics. So once you finally feel comfortable navigating through Figma or whatever prototyping software of your choice, it's important to share your designs and get feedback on your designs. Now, I know this may be a little scary at first because of course your first designs are not going to be your best, but I think it's really important to maybe ask close friends or even your mentors, if you have a mentor that you're working with, just to gain some feedback and know things that you should improve on, because it's very important as a designer to be able to take constructive criticism and to actually be able to effectively soak in that criticism and produce a better solution if that's not something that your stakeholders want. So go ahead and get used to having your designs criticized, because it's going to happen as a designer, and you're also going to have to learn to deliver criticism in a way that does not offend others. So that's one thing you want to just go ahead and get comfortable with right away. So I think sharing your designs and getting feedback is really important. So the next step I would recommend, once you are able to gather some feedback on your designs and your actual UI skills and know what you need to improve on for next time, I would want to start building out a case study. And these case studies will be used in your portfolio. So these can be hypothetical situations. I will link down below a site where you can access hypothetical design prompts or mock design prompts, and then you can just design a solution based off of that. Or you can go into the App Store, look at some of your favorite applications and look at some of the reviews, pick out some of the negative reviews and things that you could potentially improve upon, and just build a case study out based on that. So this is an opportunity for you to go through that entire design process and really show that you have an understanding of the design process and that you're able to actually implement that and put it into action. Also, a lot of you new transitioners are actually kind of lucky these days because we have ChatGPT now. So ChatGPT is not sponsoring this video, by the way, but I will say that ChatGPT is a great place to go if you're looking for a design prompt. And also if you're looking for writing to put within your mock website or mock app. If you're looking for filler text, that's a great place to go for filler text. So you don't have to use the lorem ipsum text and things like that. So use ChatGPT to your advantage. Highly recommend. It's great for this. So the next step, once you're able to start kind of building out some case studies, maybe like once you get 2 case studies or so in, I would start building out your portfolio. So your portfolio is going to be your selling piece. This is what's going to get you interviews, get you in front of those hiring managers, and it's your opportunity to show that you have a thorough understanding of the design process and that you are able to effectively and creatively solve and create functionally compelling digital products. So when you start to build out your portfolio site, you can either use sites such as Squarespace, Wix, GoDaddy, or any of those website builders that you have to pay like a monthly subscription for, or you could utilize Behance if you're not able to pay for a subscription to a site. There's also a really good one called ux.folio. That's the one that I have used in the past, and it works really well. It's a template base, super easy to upload your case studies in there and put your little about section and your resume and things like that. So that's a very intuitive site that I would recommend. I'll link that one down below, as well as behance.net. Since I've mentioned that one a couple of times, I'll link that down below for you as well. So those are my tips for kind of building your foundational knowledge of UX design and really familiarizing yourself with some of the tools that we use in our day-to-day and the processes that you will be using in your day-to-day work as a designer. So once you've mastered all of that, you've got your portfolio ready, you've got your resume ready, then the next step is to start applying for jobs. So oftentimes a big mistake that a lot of newer designers make, new grads or career transitioners, is that they are just applying to positions, just cold applying to hundreds of positions, sitting down and just never hearing back. They're submitting so many applications, and the reason for that is because they're not following up. So I would say it's really important to focus on building your network. So that would probably be my recommendation for your next steps. Once you've got your portfolio in hand, it's been reviewed by mentors, reviewed by someone who's in the industry and has a thorough knowledge and understanding of what hiring managers look for, and your resume has been reviewed as well, then I would focus on building your network. So you can do this by going to local events, trying to find local tech related events, or any events like job fairs, things like that, where they're looking for people who work in the tech industry, because most likely than not, they're going to also be looking for UX designers. So going out, getting your name out there, chatting with people, telling them about your experience. If you're a career transitioner, just tell them about where you're coming from. You also want to leverage your transferable skills when talking to people at conferences and networking events, if you're a career transitioner, just to let them kind of see how you can kind of tie in your background into your work as a designer and how your background can make you a stronger designer. So that's really important to highlight that when you're talking to individuals. Also, another really big tip that I have is to use LinkedIn to your advantage. You want to treat LinkedIn like your brand and ensure that your experience is uploaded on there, the same experience that's on your resume. You want to make sure that you're following a lot of UX designers, that you're interacting with other UX designers, and really just getting your name to pop up in others or potential hiring managers' feeds on LinkedIn. So resharing, reposting things, applying for jobs through LinkedIn is great, because oftentimes you can find the hiring manager's information underneath the application, and you can shoot them a direct message if you have a LinkedIn Premium account. You also have the option to turn on your open to work, so that way recruiters are notified that you are looking for a job. So it's really important to optimize your LinkedIn page, and if you're interested in how to do that, you can book a one-on-one session with me. I will leave a link down below for you to book a session with me, and I can kind of walk you through LinkedIn page optimization. I can also do portfolio reviews as well as resume reviews with you as well, if you're interested in really getting your foot in the door and really getting your name in front of hiring managers for these big companies. So just let me know in the comments if you have any questions about that as well, and I'd love to help you out with that. I'll also probably consider doing another video where I kind of talk through the resume building, portfolio building, and LinkedIn page optimization as well. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe for that. So those are essentially the tips that I have for landing your first job as a user experience or UX designer with no experience. So whether you've landed your first job or not, don't get discouraged, just keep trying. It's a really long process to get that first job, and I've learned that a lot of it is strategy. So if you have any additional questions for me specifically, I will leave again a link down below for you to contact me, schedule a mentoring session, or feel free to leave me a question in the comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But the biggest thing is just never stop learning. Just keep learning. Even if you have already landed a job, just always expand your knowledge and keep watching your favorite YouTubers and keep learning new trends within the industry. That's really important to keep yourself competitive as a designer in this market, and just to really stay abreast on what's trending in tech in general. It's really important for us as designers to always ensure that we're following the latest trends. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for your support, and I wish you the best of luck. Just keep trying, don't give up. You can do this. I believe in you, and I will see you in my next video. Peace and love. Bye for now.